Hi, I'm Marissa. Welcome to Rissa Rocks It and Designed by Geeks. We had a request for an assembly video on how to make this paper 3D lotus flower. So I'm going to show you how you can make that. You can make it either with plain paper like this one. This is just a plain color paper, or you can hand color and shade the leaves. So for this one here, I did watercolor paper and I hand painted the leaves. And this one was done on plain colored paper, but that was shaded with colored pencil and marker. You can use this as a decoration, or you can add it to like a hair clip like I've done with this one here. I put the link in the video description on where you can buy the SVG file that you used to make this design. And follow me to the craft table and I'm going to show you how we make it. You're going to start by cutting out your pieces on your machine, and when you're choosing a paper, choose something that's sturdy enough to hold the folds. If you do plan on hand painting your flower, watercolor paper is actually very sturdy. That's what I used for this flower. And if you are painting or hand shading your flower, cut your pieces first, then do your painting or coloring. If you are painting, give it time to dry, and then assemble it after everything is painted and colored. You are also going to want to paint both sides. Since it is a three-dimensional object, you'll want to paint the front and the back of your paper, especially if you're using a white paper and you don't want your flower to be white. You can also start with colored paper and then add some shading. So this is kind of a peachy pink that I've added some shading to with colored pencil and markers. Your pieces are going to be 3 sets of petals and a leaf. You can cut more leaves if you want more leaves, but there are 3 sizes of petals. There's the large, the medium, and the small. The small is going to be your inside, the medium is going to be the middle, and the large is going to be the outer petal. And you're going to start by folding the 2 larger sets of petals. And how you're going to do that is you're just going to gently curl the petals backward, like so. I'm just kind of curling that around my finger. You could curl it around a pencil or something like that if you like. You just kind of want a nice gentle curl rather than a sharp fold. And just work on that until it kind of has the curl that you like. You're going to do the same thing with the middle size of petals. Another tool you can use to curl your petals is a bone folder. And you kind of run the bone folder along the back to kind of create that curl. If you've ever curled ribbon when wrapping a package, it's a similar concept when you use scissors to curl ribbon. That's another way to get a nice little curl in your petals. Just be gentle so that it doesn't rip. And then once you have the 2 larger sets of petals done, you're going to do your smallest set of petals, but these curl in a different way. So what you're going to do is you are going to actually curl them lengthwise. So rather than bending them back like this, you're going to curl them kind of along the length like so. And then you're going to bring them up toward the middle. And that's going to be the center of your flower. Next, we can fold our leaf, and you're going to do a sharp crease along the middle of the leaf here. If you like, you can use something like a bone folder to help make a crease. If you want it to be super precise, you can use a ruler with the bone folder, but since leaves are natural, you can just eyeball it, and it's okay if it's not perfect. So I'm just using this bone folder to make a score line. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use something like a skewer or something that has something of a point but isn't super sharp where it's not going to cut the paper, just something that's going to create kind of a little score in your paper. And then you are going to fold the leaf in half. I'm just using that score line I created. And then you're going to kind of fold it back out and kind of curve the leaf backward to be kind of a more natural leaf shape. The next step is optional, and that is if you want to add some sort of a decorative center to your flower. You can use things like a button. This is actually a little button that looks like a dragonfly. These are some other decorative buttons that I have. You could add something like a bread, or any little embellishment that you want for the center will work, or you can leave that out. This is completely optional. If you are using something like a button and your button has kind of a little back to it, I would recommend, before assembling the flower, punching a hole in each of the pieces so that that back can fit through there rather than having the center stick up. So if you're going to use something that has a little back to it, you can just grab just a regular hole punch and add a little hole there. And I want to see, how does that look? I think I kind of like the dragonfly. So I think I'm going to add the dragonfly. So I'm going to get my hole punch and just punch a hole to accommodate that button. And when you stack your petals together, you just want to make sure that you're staggering them so they're kind of offset like that. So I've already punched a hole there for the button, and I made it a little bit wider because that thing on the back of the button is kind of wide. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm punching the holes in the right place so that everything stacks up. I'm going to just do a quick mark with my pencil. So that's my middle set of petals. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the large set of petals. All right, now I'm going to glue everything together. Again, just making sure to stagger those leaves. And you just glue it just at the center. You want the petals to be free. And you can adjust the curling of the petals as you're assembling it. And I've got my dragonfly that I'm going to stick in the middle through the hole. And the center smallest petals, those come up like so. You just kind of mold it and sculpt it until you have the look that you want. And then you can add the leaf to the back. And then your flower is done. And here is the one that I did with the colored pencil and marker. And if you like, you can add this to a hair clip. Just use some hot glue to add a clip to the back. That's what I did with this watercolor one. And just use some hot glue and to add it to the back. Ignore the messiness of the glue. You won't see it when you're wearing it, but that's how that looks on a clip. And then here are 3 different colors and styles that I did. I hope you had a fun time crafting with me today, and we will see you next time. Bye! We hope you liked this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.